Hello, my dear students. This is Mrs. Shaimaa Gharib, and today's lesson about fractions, between fractions, and halfway fractions. Let's start by revising some rules before we watch any video. First, you have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start. Look at these two fractions. The first one is 2 over 7 or 2 sevenths. And the second one is 4 over 7. If I ask you to find a fraction, or to write a fraction between these two fractions, it's so clear that the fraction in between is 3 over 7 because we have 3 is between 2 and 4. So 2 sevenths, then 3 sevenths, then 4 sevenths. So 3 sevenths is in between these two fractions. So what if I have 2 ninths and 3 ninths? Is there any numbers between 2 and 3? No. So what should I do then? First of all, to find fractions between fractions, the first step, you have to make sure that all denominators are the same. So denominators must be the same first, then we are going to go to the next step. In this example, the two fractions have the same denominator. So then we'll move to the next step, which is multiply both fractions by 2. Remember to multiply both numerator and denominator. So we will find an equivalent fraction for both fractions by multiplying by 2 up and down. So the first fraction will be, let's see together, it will be 4 over 18. So 4 over 18, and the second fraction will be 3 times 2, 6, 6 over 18. Now I changed the denominators to be 18 and the numerators became 4 and 6. Can you find any fractions in between? Yes, of course. There is what between 4 and 6? 5 over 18. So the fraction between 2 over 9 and 3 over 9 will be 5 over 18. So first step, again, we have to make sure that denominators are the same. Then we move to step 2, which is multiplying the fraction by 2 up and down. In this question, write 3 fractions in between these two fractions, 2 over 3 and 3 over 4. So we said step number 1, I have to make sure that denominators are the same. So I have 3 and 4. So I need to change these denominators by thinking of an equivalent fraction. So I need a common multiple, or the least common multiple between the 3 and the 4. The least common multiple between 3 and 4 is number 12. So I will change both denominators to be number 12. The first one by multiplying by 4. 3 times 4 gives 12, so I will do up and down. And the 4 to be 12, I will multiply it by 3, up and down. Then the new fractions, the first one will be 2 times 4, 8, 8 over 12, and the second one will be 9 over 12. Now, do I have any fractions in between? No. So I need to do the second step, which is multiplying both fractions by 2. Let's try by 2 and find out what will happen first. If I multiplied by 2 up and down both fractions, this fraction will be 16 over 24. And this fraction will be 18 over 24. So do I have 3 fractions between? I only have one fraction between, which is 17 over 24. So what should I do? I will keep multiplying by 2 every time until I get more fractions, or the number that I want. So when you have no fractions in between, you multiply by 2. If you still need more fraction, keep multiplying. So I can multiply by 4 these two fractions to have more fractions in between. So if I multiply the 8 by 4, it will give me 32. If I multiply the 9 by 4, it will give me 36. Now I have 32 over 48 after multiplying up and down by 4 to have more fractions, or multiplying by 2 one more time, so the 18 will be 36 and the 24 will be 48. So now I have 32 and 36. I can find 33 over 48. I can find 34 over 48, as you can see, and I can find 35 over 48. So these three fractions are between 2/3 and 3/4. Is this clear? Now let's see more example. Write a halfway fraction. Write a fraction that is halfway between. What the meaning of the word halfway? Halfway means exactly in the middle. So I need to find not any fraction, I need the fraction that is exactly in the middle between these two fractions. So halfway means exactly in the middle. So 5/9 and 7/9. So it's so clear that the one exactly in the middle between the 5 and the 7 is number 6. So it will be 6 over 9, as long as both fractions have the same denominator. What if I have these two fractions, 2/5 and 3/5? No numbers between 2 and 3. And don't say 2.5 because I cannot write a decimal number in the fraction. So I need to think of equivalent fractions. What did we say? First, we have to make sure that both fractions have the same denominators. Step 2, multiply both fractions by 2, up and down. So when I multiply by 2 here, up and down, let's see the new fractions. So this one will be 4 over 10, and the second one will be 6 over 10. So now I have 4 over 10 and 6 over 10. What is the number exactly in the middle between 4 and 6? It's number 5. Then 5 over 10 will be the fraction that exactly in the middle, or the halfway fraction between the 2/5 and the 3/5. Is this clear now? Let's see one more example. If I have 2/5 and 1/3, both have different denominators, and we said first step, denominators must be the same. So what is the least common multiple between 5 and 3 is number 15. So the 5 to be 15, I will multiply it by 3 and I will do it up and down. And the 3 to be 15, I will multiply it by 5 and I will do it up and down. Then the new fraction here, 2 times 3 will be 6 over 15. And 1 over 3 will be 5 over 15. Now, I have 6 over 15 and 5 over 15. Do we have any numbers in between? No. So what should I do? I will move to the step number 2. Multiply both fractions by 2, up and down. So let's see the new fractions. 6 times 2 will give us 12, so it will be 12 over 30. And the second one, 5 times 2 is 10, and 15 times 2 is 30. So it will be 10 over 30. Now I have 12 over 30 and 10 over 30. What are the numbers between 10 and 12? Of course, I have number 11. It's between 10 and 12. So the fraction that is exactly in the middle will be 11 over 30, or the halfway fraction between these two fractions will be 11 over 30. Is this clear now? Let's have some questions. Are you ready? Write a fraction between, only one fraction between these two fractions. 2/3 and 3/4. So I need, step number 1 we said, denominators must be the same. So 3 and 4, I need to think of the least common multiple between 3 and 4, which is number 12. So I will change both of them to be 12. The 3 will be multiplied by 4, and the fraction, all of it up and down, and the 4 will be multiplied by 3, and the whole fraction will be multiplied by the 3 up and down. So now the new fractions will be 2 times 4, which is 8 over 12. And the second fraction will be 9 over 12. Now I have 8 over 12 and 9 over 12. Do I have any numbers between the 8 and 9? No. So what should I do? I will move to the second step. We said we are going to multiply by 2, both fractions up and down. So the new fractions will be 2 times 8, 16, and 2 times 12 equals 24. And 2 times 9 is 18, and 2 times 12, 24. So now I have two fractions over 24, 16 over 24, and 18 over 24. The fraction between them will be 17 over 24. Is this clear now? Second question, write a fraction that is halfway between. And we said halfway means exactly in the middle. So the two fractions I have are 2/5 and 2/7. We said step number 1, denominators must be the same. So the least common multiple between 5 and 7 is number 35. So I need to change both denominators to be 35 by multiplying the 5 by 7, and I will do it up and down, and multiplying the 7 by 5, and I will do it up and down. Then the two new fractions will be over 35. So the first one will be 14 over 35, and the second one will be 10 over 35. So now I have 10 and 14. What are the numbers between 10 and 14? So we have 11 over 35, 12 over 35, and 13 over 35. Which one of them is exactly in the middle? Of course, this one here, which is 12 over 35.
This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer you as soon as possible. Please remember that your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you very much and have a nice day.